Ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker played for the Purple Eagles from 1964 through 1968, is now a prominent dentist in Western New York. He has worked with both the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Sabres. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome up to the podium Dr. Greg Hudecki. How are you, Doctor? Good to see you.
I don't know how I got roped into this, but I got a call from Simon today. He said, would you mind saying a few words? And I said, well, let me dig into my history and see if I can come up with a couple stories. I went to St. Joe's in Buffalo and got recruited by Taps Gallagher, who a lot of people here may not know that the Gallagher Center was named after. And he had a couple good assistants on a freshman team back then, because the freshmen coming in now couldn't play varsity. You had to play on a freshman team. And they had Eddie Donahue, who was a great basketball player, but more so a better salesman. He went to Connecticut and recruited a kid named Calvin Murphy. And he sat on the bench during their playoffs, took the whole team out for lunch. And the kicker to get him to go to Niagara was he could play, or he could spin his baton halftime at the Bills games. So he signed up. He was in Buffalo, probably the best player that Niagara has had in quite a while. And it was just an honor to play with him. Some of the highlights we used to have a 1 o'clock game on Saturday. It used to be called the ECIC game. And we played, it'd be 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we'd play St. John's or Syracuse or Dayton. And we beat Dayton with Donnie May, and we had some great games. Our teams we were just over 500. We weren't great. We lost a lot of games we should have won, and we won games we should have lost. But it was a real interesting. Every holiday, Christmas time, we'd go to Philadelphia and play in the Palestra, and we'd be like O.J. Simpson and the Buffalo Bills. Murphy'd go in, score 50, and we'd lose. He was great. But we play against guys like Wes Unseld, Matt Gukas. In the Palestra was a tough place to play, but I'll tell you, fine memories from that place. The other thing that really came apart, I don't know if you can do it right now, dunking a basketball in warm-ups. I know it used to be a technical foul. I don't know if it is anymore, but back in 1967, it is? I don't know if it is or not. Is it, Coach?
It's legal now.
It is legal? Well, they made it illegal, and then now it's legal again. But it started in 1967. We were playing in the 69th Street Armory in Manny Leaks, dunked the ball and smashed the backboard. So we were looking for a backboard at Madison Square Garden, couldn't find one. So we played the next day in a high school in Long Island. Van Miller did the radio play-by-play, who did the play-by-play for the Bills. And he was just a fantastic voice. And it made it sound like there was thousands there, and there was probably 15 people in the auditorium. And we lost then, too. So that was another game we should have won. The other game that was kind of memorable was, right now you see Madison Square Garden. That's actually Madison Square Garden 4. Niagara University finished Madison Square Garden 3. We were the last team to play there, and it was the second last event in Madison Square Garden 3. We played NYU. They were closing it. They shut the water off. There was rats all over the place. And we'd lost NYU to Barry Kramer. Jim Maloney just hit the ceiling. He didn't like that one. But the last event in Madison Square Garden 3 was the dog show. And we were the second last. Figure that one out. The other thing that we had was there was a big rift between Canisius College and Niagara. They didn't like each other. I think Niagara thought they got screwed on the money aspect of it. So they didn't play each other for years and years. And so finally we had an opportunity, I think in 1967, to play again. So we took a vote and we basically said, yeah, it's great. We can play in front of 10,000 people at the Odd. It's jam-packed. Everybody's smoking and drinking. It's a great place to play. So we ended up playing there, and we had some great games. And for people that didn't have the experience of playing in the Odd, it was You're right on top of everybody. It was a great venue, and I'm sorry that a lot of people didn't get a chance to experience it. Let's see. I did, just for my own, I played against 3 mayors. Okay, I don't know if that's anything to Egan from Providence, Masiello from Canisius, and Dave Bing from Detroit. I held Dave Bing to 29. I did a great job. I've been quite a bit. I've been doing a lot of volunteering and coaching basketball, grammar school. I'm at South Park right now, which is a real experience. But the Vincentians taught me a lot. So when you ball players go out on the court tomorrow or whatever, that's your biggest classroom right there. So learn a lot. It's where you're going to learn it. Go NU.
Thanks very much, Doctor. Well, folks, as you know, this season is the 10-year anniversary of the 2006-2007 MAC championship team. That Purple Eagles club became the 3rd team in program history to play in the NCAA tournament. That squad finished the season with a 23-12 overall record. That was tied for the 5th most wins in program history. Niagara entered the 2007 MAC tournament as the number 2 seed. They won 3 straight games to capture that season's MAC tournament title and advance to the NCAA tournament. Purple Eagles defeated Florida A&M in the NCAA tournament's opening round, you may recall, for the program's 2nd ever NCAA tournament win. Purple Eagles brought a 12-game winning streak, which was 4th in the nation at that time, into the next round where their season came to an end at the hands of the top-seeded Kansas Jayhawks. Folks, for reflections on that season, I would like to call up 2 members from that team. First team All-MAC selection Charron Fisher, and MAC All-Rookie team member and the tournament MVP in his freshman year, Tyrone Lewis, for some remarks from both those players. I understand Charron is going to try and steer clear of the microphone, but we might be able to get a little. Once somebody starts talking, Charron usually contributes a little bit, so we'll see if we can hear some words from both of those folks.
Good luck. Thanks. I'm going to let Tyrone do all the talking.
I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's great to see the history here in Niagara, and I'm proud to be part of that. And, before I get into it, I would like to first thank Coach Casey for allowing me to come back to my program that I love so much and work with the guys and be part of this program and the history here that we're trying to make. So I'm very thankful for that. It's the best job in the world that I've ever had. I'm still working. I took care of Norfolk. They're okay. I went over during the dinner. They're good. They're all right. But I'm very thankful for that, and I just love working with the staff, though I am. I'm very thankful. Thank you. That 2017 was it was a great year. A lot of people talk about the end result of that season of us cutting down the nets and that great year that we had. But what people didn't realize was the start of that season, the grind that we had to go through. And there's a lot of storylines going into that season. With myself personally first coming in with the baggage that I had coming in with my sister, the issues she's had, and then the issues that I had coming in. I mean, you want to talk about a million distractions. Charron and them didn't even do the summer with us. They got sent home early. And then the start of that season, a couple guys got suspended. So we started the season with about 6 guys. 3 freshmen started every game for the first 12 games of the season. And it was a bad start. I mean, the first day of practice was 6 a.m. in the morning, which was very terrible for me because I'm not a morning person. On top of that, it was probably 10 feet of snow on the ground. They shut down the whole city, but we got a phone call, hey, we got practice. But it was a special group, though. I mean, I was proud to be part of that group. I was considered the youngin' on that team. I was a freshman. There was a bunch of seniors and juniors. I used to kill them because before I got there, the year before that, they had a bad season. They were like 11 and 18, and I said, well, this is why they brought me here.
I took my ACL that year, so I was out half the year.
But it was.
Let them know why we was 11-18 that year.
Yeah, but I was as the guys know from this year's team, I talk a lot of junk all year long. So, but I learned a lot from that year. For me, especially for that experience, I had never won a championship before I got here as a basketball player. So it was very special for me to do that here, and we had a great group. You know, they said we only got 2 members here, but really, you know, Johnny Munns, who, you know, he don't get a lot of credit, but like he said, he tore his ACL twice here, and that's a hard thing to come from because I did it in my pro career, and for him to come back and play that year with us was just an amazing. A lot of that, you know, is to Munns. I hurt my MCL that year, and I missed my first 8 games ever. I've never missed coming into college practice, football, basketball, track, of game, or anything like that in my 8 years of playing sports before coming to Niagara, and I missed my first 8, and I was depressed. And to have Johnny Munns there with me every day, just like, it's okay, trust the process, T. We're going to get you back. So I want to thank him for that. Dr. Slayer, you play a big part in that too. I know that's Johnny Munns and y'all go hand in hand. So I do want to thank you for a lot of things that you've done for us too, though. And Dr. Andres, of course, them B12 shots worked a lot. I appreciate it. Especially the IV game and that playoff game. I appreciate that. But Niagara's a great place to be at. For this to be the 10-year anniversary, and I tell the guys this now, this is a 10-year anniversary, and it started with us. In the last 10 years, nobody hung more banners than us in this league. So I don't care what anybody want to talk about, what they want to say. Go back and look at the history. From 2006 to 2007 till now, nobody's hung more banners than we did here in this program. All right, so just remember that. But, you know, I just want to thank Charron, too, because he played a big part in my career coming here. He was the first person I met during my recruitment, and he was very honest and real about everything that was going on here, and he was a big reason why I signed. So I want to thank him for that and for taking care of me for the first 2 years. I learned a lot what not to do as a student-athlete here with Charron, so I want to thank him for that. Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, I'm just kidding. And, but I'm very thankful to be here and be part of this history here in Niagara. When I first came here, like I said, everything was about let's make history. I heard about Frank Landon a lot, Juan Mendez, and Calvin Murphy, and Charron Fisher this and that, and I just wanted to put my name in that class, and I'm just thankful that I can be talked about at least in that group, and I'm real grateful for that. I know when I speak for Fish, we love Niagara. We love everything about Niagara. We'll always be Purple Eagles forever, and I just want to tell the guys now, hey, it's a tough journey, but trust the process, man. Just trust it. Keep working hard. Do everything you're supposed to do on the court, off the court. It all pays off. Trust me. I promise you that. It'll work out. Just stay focused, stay together, and play for each other. At the end of the day, play for each other and fight for each other. All right? Thank you.
All right, first off, I just want to thank everybody for being here, thank everybody for coming out. I mean, we appreciate the support, especially, I mean, me and Tyrone was here. Like, when I first got here, Niagara hadn't won in a long time. We won in 2004, my first year here, and, I mean, I just felt like, for me, I felt like I didn't really contribute much to that team. I mean, I tore my ACL my freshman year. Johnny Munns put me back together. Doc put me back together. I came back out my sophomore year like, all right, we gotta do this again. I want to be part of this. And then Johnny Munns had to put me back together again, and Doc had to put me back together again. And then they brought in, I mean, Batman. He came in, and it was all written from there. I mean, when they brought Tyrone in, when he first came in, like he told you guys, he came in with, we were like, man, hold on, we're not hanging out with Tyrone. We don't know what's going on with the situation. But once you meet Tyrone Lewis, you know, like, Tyrone's a great guy, man. He's the smile. We knew that whatever situation had happened before, none that we heard was true about Tyrone. Everything about Tyrone was top of the line, A1, and he showed that his freshman year. He came out. He won MVP of the tournament.
Say that again, Fish. Go ahead. Come on. Say that again.
He came out, and I let him win MVP of the tournament. And then from there on, he's just been, he's just been doing great things for this university. All throughout, I stayed in touch with Tyrone all throughout his 4 years. He was like my little brother. I had to make sure he was good. I had to make sure everything was good. When he passed me in scoring, he called me, Charron, I just passed you. I said, all right, Tyrone, you passed me. I only played 2.5 years. You beat me by maybe 6 points. So, me and him has had a great relationship. When he called me and told me he wanted me to come down here, it was no doubt in my mind that I was getting down here to be a part of this and to come back and talk to you young guys, man. Like, I won't lie, I haven't followed a lot of you guys' games. I'm going to check you guys out tomorrow for sure. And but just keep grinding, like Tyrone said. It's a process. We were never great when we came in here. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what was going on, but it's a process. I mean, you got to grind. You got to grind. Niagara is known for winning. We win. We win here. Nobody wanted to come and play here. So I don't know what's going on, but, oh, my man, Juan Mendez. How you doing, sir? Huh? Speak? Okay, I'm sorry. Juan said I have to finish speaking. So, but like I was saying, guys, just keep grinding and keep your foot on the pedal, man. It's a long season, and again, thanks everybody for coming out, and we're gonna try to enjoy the weekend, and we appreciate you guys. Thanks again.
Our next speaker rewrote the Niagara record books during his 4 seasons on Montego Ridge. A 2005 NU graduate, he was inducted into the Niagara Athletics Hall of Fame in 2013. Did you know all this? He was enshrined into the MAC Basketball Hall of Fame honor roll in 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the well-traveled tonight, Juan Mendez. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. You got 45 minutes.
Yeah. Sorry I'm late, guys. Trying to catch my breath here. Guys, this place to me is like, it's home. It's always been home. Charron, you know. Time and turbulence, we've been through it all, you know. 4 years, 3 years together? No, 4 years, right? 3 years? I mean, honestly speaking, I miss it. Guys, every day I wake up and I think about the great times I had at Niagara. It'll never change. I mean, listen, I bleed purple, and that's that, you know. And the program, honestly, at the time I was here, it was just the best time of my life, you know. Even though I became pro and I broke all these records, it's those tough times, guys like him, you know what I mean. Tyrone, love you. Yeah, it was just one of those moments where every day, wake up, see you guys come out, the alum, and you guys just kept me going. It's one of those things that I love and I cherish and I'll carry for the rest of my life. Guys, thank you for having me. Like I said, I'm sorry I'm late, trying to catch my wind here. But yeah, this is home. Always be home. I love you guys. Thank you.